Hello, everybody. All right. So let's go to, I'm now interacting. Let's see here. Come on, Facebook. Bring me up. Okay. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. It's so good to see everyone. Ouch. I just hurt my leg. Lovely to see everyone. Do I have my purple glasses on? Oh, I hate that. No purple for me. Oh, man. All right. Those purple glasses are very deceptive. Okay. I'm switching them out. Let's see if these are any better. Maybe these are good. Okay. These should work. Hi. All right, everybody. So happy New Year. It's great to see everyone. I am going to get to a different page here. Lisa Shield. Whoops. Lisa Shield, dating and relationships. All right. I wish there was an easier way to do all of this. I say that every single time. I'm sounding like a broken record. How are you all? Okay. How are you all? Happy New Year. How is your way to do all of this? Okay. Anna, I think I have 100 pairs of glasses. In fact, I just ordered some more and I don't know where they are. So I have to find out. The mail is so unpredictable these days. I need to find my glasses because I don't have them. Okay. So it's great to see everybody. Oh my God, Anna, was that the 100 pair of glasses? I have a huge box of them sitting right next to me. In fact, I don't like these either. I don't know which glasses I do like. I had earlier some good glasses that looked good with this outfit. I don't know where I put them. I don't know what happened to those other glasses, but these are not right. All of my good ones. Okay, here's a good pair. Okay, these are better. I'm happy I can entertain myself. Let's see who's here. Hi, Kayleigh. Hey, Anna. Hi, Jalen. Oh, Christine. It's good to see you. Hello, everybody. Please say hello if you're coming on. I am just going to share this to a couple of places. Share via, let me share this. Share, that's not working. Okay, let's see here. Share to a page. This is just not happening tonight. All right, let's hope that works. Hello. Hi, Anna. Hi, Jannette. Shazila Mohammed. Happy New Year. All right. Let's see here. My sharing is just not happening the way it's supposed to. More options. Share to a group. Okay. So here we go. Say something about this. Join me for another fabulous. F-A-B-U-L-O-U-S Facebook. Oopsie. Facebook Live. Okay. All right. I'm just going to share this to a couple of places and then we're good to go. Okay. I think we did it. All right, everybody. So how is everybody? How's 2021 going? Hey, Stephen. Lisa, I'm well. I'm doing great. You are a top fan. I love when they put that. Hi, Stephen. It's good to see you. Happy New Year to you. So we are going to talk today about a 4-step strategy for finding true love in 2021. How does that sound to everybody? Like a good deal? You guys, are you all ready to find love this year? I know that it's a little tough out there with COVID and all. Hey, Barry, good to see you. I know it's a little tough with COVID, and I'm so sorry. My husband actually caught COVID, so my biggest nightmare came to pass. Hi, Sarita, and yeah, my biggest nightmare came to pass. And Benjamin, hey, Shanese, good to see you. And he caught COVID, so you can't be careful enough. Anna, you found love and you want to keep it. That's great. Is this a new guy, or is this the same guy that oh, look at that great picture. He's cute. Is this the same guy you were with, or is this somebody new? Yeah, Barry, it's terrible. Benjamin got COVID. And it was my brother who gave it to him. So lucky us, right? All right. So let's talk about how to find love in 2021. First of all, you've got to come up with some kind of contract, right? Like some kind of agreement with yourself. So I want you all to sit down, all of you who are single and struggling. And oh, Anna, I just saw your picture of you and your guy. He's so cute. The fantastic Jeffrey Simmons. Look at him with his little bow tie and you looking all hot. These are great pictures of you. I hope that you both are very, very happy. So you have to come up with some kind of commitment, right? You've got to make a commitment to this journey. So if you just go out there and you're like, okay, I'm single, it's 2021, I hate this. Hi, Annette. And you don't have a plan, right? And you don't have a strategy for doing this. You don't have a commitment in writing to yourself, then it's not going to happen. Congratulations, Jalen. That's fantastic. A guy that you knew from high school you reconnected with. That's absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. Congratulations. So first you have to come up with a commitment to yourself. So I want you all to, the first thing I want you to do is take out a piece of paper, and a pen and sit down and write some kind of, I can't think of what they're called, but like a commitment, right? I, Lisa Shield, commit to staying out in the in the dating world, going online and not quitting until I find the love of my life. Hi, Ellie. Good to see you, honey. Does that make sense? So you want to make some kind of written commitment to yourself that you are committed to this journey. I will not stop until I find the guardian of my soul. And writing this down and then posting it on your wall, on your vision board, but somewhere, or near your vision board, but somewhere where you can see it, is really important, because when we sit down and we make we write out this commitment to ourselves, like a contract, right? And then you sign it. That's the word I was looking for. You're going to write a contract that you're going to sign that's going to commit you to this journey, and you're going to put your signature on it, and you're going to commit to not quitting until you find true love. Hi, Dallin. It's good to see you. Then you're going to come up with a plan, a strategy for how you're going to make sure that you get out there. So you want to make sure that this strategy has real steps. So you're going to say, I'm going to go on one online dating site, and I'm going to go on one app, and I will reach out as Lisa Cohen. She's ambitious. Lisa's going to reach out and message 10 men a day. You don't have to do 10 men a day, but you could say, I'm going to spend a half an hour every other day, and I will reach out to 5 men each time, and I will answer messages from 3 of the men who reach out to me. So let's say that that's your strategy. So every day, every other day, you'll spend a half an hour online. You'll reach out to 5 guys and you'll respond to 3 men that reached out to you. Hello, CL. Good to see you. So do you understand that you have to have a plan? If you don't, there's a saying, fail to plan, plan to fail, right? Fail to plan, plan to fail. If you don't have a plan or a strategy for how to do this, then you're going to keep making mistakes. You're going to keep getting fed up. If you have a strategy and you get a calendar and you check, you mark off every day that you commit to your strategy and you keep that calendar there right in front of you. It's good to get like a real hard copy calendar, not just an online calendar, but a calendar where you can mark off every day that you follow through with your commitment. And there's something about doing that where you can, again, visually see it that really makes you stick to that plan, because you don't want to miss a day, right? You don't want to miss a day. So if you put a gold star there, if you put an X there, if you put a little heart on your calendar, but every single day that you stick to your plan, you put a star or a heart or an X, and you want to see this visually so that you can remind yourself. So it's really there, right? If you miss a day, there's going to be a blank spot on your calendar. Hi, Luann. Good to see you. Then you are going to come up with 5 things that you're going to do differently. So 5 things that'll be different, because as we all know, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, that's the definition of insanity. So you've got to come up with 5 new strategies, 5 things that you're going to do differently. So if, for example, you always wait for men to reach out to you, you're going to start reaching out to men. If you chase men, you're going to sit back and you're going to let men, you're only going to respond to the men who approach you. But you've got to come up with 5 new strategies. Maybe you're going to change your range. Maybe you've always only ever dated. Hope is not a strategy. Thank you for that, Jannette. It is not a strategy. So you will come up with 5 new things. So if you limit your range to 10 miles around you, you'll open your range up to 100 miles. If you only date men who are 5 years younger or 5 years older, maybe you'll put both of those, 10 years younger and 10 years older, right? You also, what does Lisa say? Yeah, not engage in endless messaging and texting, and get them on the phone. So you may say that, if somebody hasn't contacted you within a week, or you haven't gotten on a Zoom call or a FaceTime call, then you're going to cut that person off. Maybe you're quick to judge. Maybe, you have standards. Like, one of the things that gets in women's way, which is completely bogus, is that we have this thing about guys never ask us questions. And maybe you just say, okay, it's okay if a guy doesn't ask me questions. I'm still gonna respond to the guys that message me. Kayleigh says, what is the good age to date a guy? I'm 34 years old, maybe 36. Kayleigh, my husband's 9 years older than me. 9 years. I was 40 when I started dating. They'll almost be dead. Lisa, there's some There's some great men that are 10 years older that are vital and alive and fantastic. You know, Benjamin is 68 and I'm 59. So, you know, he's wonderful. I wouldn't trade him for anything in the world. Yeah, maybe you'll flirt more. Maybe I think men think I'm needy if I reach out. Kelly, that's crazy. That's absolute. I'm not saying you're crazy. Don't think I'm saying that. But men are thrilled when you reach out. That's not needy. And especially if you do it in a fun way, something that women don't realize. So there have been studies done. There have been studies done, and here's what they found. Do you all know who signals first, the man or the woman? When you're in a bar, when you're out and about, who signals who first? Does anybody know? Who sends the first signal? Over 90% of the time. Anybody want to take a guess? My clients know this. Lisa Cohen for the win. The women do. Not over 90% of the time, the person who signals first in public is the woman, not the man. When you're at a bar, when you're sitting there looking around, you're checking people out, it is the woman who looks at the man first. The funny thing is, if you ask the men, they think it was their idea. That's what's so great about it. The men could care less if you approach them. Now, if you're a needy woman and you really are needy and you lack self-confidence and you are looking to men, you know, you're chasing men, you're trying to get men to approve of you and you're needy, yes, those men are going to see you as needy, but not if you approach a man and not if you do it in the right way. In fact, I call this taking the feminine lead. So both men and women lead in relationships. You know, you hear all these other coaches talking about you got to be feminine, you have to lean back, you have to let the man chase you. That is so much bullshit. That's insane. That is one of the biggest lies these coaches are telling you. It's ridiculous. You are strong, confident, successful women, and you're going to sit around and wait for men to chase you? It's insane. It is a message. Lisa says, men love getting this message from me. What's a handsome man like you doing in a place like this? Exactly. Exactly. Kelly, men are not going to see you as independent if you reach out to them. If you use a message like Lisa just said, or if you say something like, what's a woman got to do to get a date with a guy like you, with a wink, they'll eat it up. Do you all not think that men that it's so much pressure on a man to approach us? It is so much pressure because they're the ones who are always risking rejection all the time. It is so stressful for good men. It is for nice guys to have to make the first move. They have to make the first move sexually. They have to plan the date. They have to pick the time. They have to tell us where to meet. That's heavy for guys. And all along the way, all along that path, you're going to, these guys, every single time they take initiative, they risk getting rejected. They need us to help them. Unirod, where do you or how do you make connections nowadays? 80% of people right now are meeting online. I mean, that's where people meet. They meet online, especially with COVID. So if you want to find a guy today in this climate, you're going to have to be, on the dating apps and the websites. Lisa says it wakes him up. Yeah. Flirting with these guys it wakes up their sexuality and they flirt back. They love it. They love it. Love it, love it, love it. Shanice says, do you think we should always allow the man to ask us out on the first date? You can encourage them to do that. You can say things like, I bet if you asked me out, I'd say yes. So you're not saying you want to go out, but you're saying, I bet if you ask me out, I'd say yes. So you're putting the ball in his court and you're making it easy for him to ask you. I bet if you asked for my phone number, I'd give it to you. Right? Are you as sexy in person, as you are on text? I'd love to put a face to that, to that funny guy I've been flirting with for the last week. So there's ways to do it by taking the feminine lead. Yeah, it wakes up a man's masculinity. It does. It's great. Ellie says it's like the guy from The Bachelor last night. He was so nervous, but the women made him feel comfortable. Exactly. The women, you've got to make these guys feel comfortable. You know who knows how to, who's aggressive and comes on and takes charge and all of that? Players. The guys that really like you and care and really have, their feelings invested, if you reject them, they're going to get their feelings hurt because they care. Anna says, I met my boyfriend on Hinge. Yeah, the dating sites are great. I used that Lisa, and he messaged me right back. He's a Jehovah's Witness and I'm Christian. Is that a good match, Vickie? Are you open to dating a Jehovah's Witness? So Unirod says, not connecting, I come across cold. Unirod, you really should check out my presentation. Go to lisashield.com and check out my free 45-minute presentation. If you come across cold, you're not going to be approachable and men are not going to approach you. So you got to work on that. What are some better apps? Barbara, it's not about what are better apps and what are better dating sites. It's really about having the right pictures and profile. And anybody that coaches with me, any of my clients will tell you the pictures help, but the profile makes all the difference. And I want you all to think about this. I really want you to give this some thought. Okay. It's so easy when things aren't working to sit back and say, the guys don't read the profiles. They just want sex. There's no good guys online. I want you to think about this. Really great men who value their time as much as you do, you better believe they're going to read your profile. Sure, there's some guys that are just in it to have fun and they love chasing women. Those aren't the guys you're looking for. There is a whole group of wonderful men online who read the profiles. And man, when they read those great profiles, the ones my husband writes for my clients, those guys are like chomping at the bit to go out with my women. And it is extraordinary. You would not believe it. These guys are busy. They value their time. They got better things to do. They don't want to go hang out with some woman who doesn't have anything going on between her ears. They're looking for smart, intelligent, loving, kind women. So my husband writes the profiles for my clients, and man, do they get great responses. Anna says, I didn't wait for my boyfriend to ask me. I asked him if he wanted to have a virtual date. Yeah, you got to go for it. Vickie says, so how long should you wait before getting on a phone call? I've had a couple of guys just blatantly put their number out there. Well, I would try to get him on a call as soon as possible. My husband, he sent me one email. I emailed him back. This was before texting. And then he called me. And then we went on our first date and we've been together for 18 years. Go figure. So I if two people want to be together and they want a relationship and they're not messing around, it can be that fast. Yeah, Anna says that her guy liked that she took initiative. I was at a party once, and I've shared this before. I was standing at the, food table where I always stand. And if you ever want to find me at a party, look for me at the food table. But this woman was there with her husband, and she said, "Oh, you're Bella's friend. What do you, and she said, "What do you do for a living?" And I said, "I'm a love coach. I help people find love online." And she said, "Oh, my husband and I met online." And then there was a guy, an interloper in the back, and he was listening in on our conversation. And he said, "Oh, my wife and I met online." And then the first man, the husband of the first woman, said, "Well, my wife messaged me first." He was bragging. And the other guy said, "Well, my wife messaged me first." So there you go. Lisa said, "A man told me that women tend to write their profiles for women. He said that mine was written for men." Ha, there you go, Lisa. Deborah says, "I get many compliments on my picture and profile. At age 60, I have the dating thing down, but I find it difficult to find someone I really connect with." Deborah, you're very attractive, at least from the photo I see. And men are going to compliment you on your pictures and your profile and all. All I can tell you is, guys will say, they'll flatter you, just like you're going to read someone's profile and say, "Oh, I loved your profile." But the responses that the women get when my husband writes the profiles, it's night and day. It's a different world. So, and the fact that you're finding it difficult to find someone that you really connect with, that tells me that your profile isn't reaching the right men. Because again, in my course, when women work with me, those profiles help them connect with the right men. They get phenomenal responses. Lisa says Benjamin would be a great coach for men. I'll let him know when he's not helping me and doing his own career, Lisa. Maybe he'll become a men's coach. Yeah. So the last thing is, when you're really out there and you're looking for love, you need accountability. If you're going to make this happen, you need accountability and support. So it's very, very difficult to sustain a long-term plan if you don't have accountability and if you don't have a support system. Now, many women who have single girlfriends, their single girlfriends are in the same boat as they are. You're all struggling, you're fed up, it's the same grind. And so it is not easy to be able to stay out there and stay positive if you're surrounded by other people who aren't being successful at this. So the only way to really do this is to be surrounded by women who are doing this successfully and who are in a positive mindset, who think positively about men, and who are really proactive just like you. So you're looking for a support group or a support system of positive women who are your peers, who are on a similar path and who can do this together. Luann, I do these Facebook Lives as a gift to people. And, I very freely share my wisdom and my experience with everybody. But my course really only has one price. And, that's why I do all these other things. So, it's good to follow me on Facebook or read my blogs and, watch my videos and things. Lisa is a member of a second group that I do. It's called SSW. And that group is for women who have done my first course, and then they go on to do a really beautiful, spiritually based group where some of the women have relationships, some are still dating. And it's a real sisterhood. We, the women have sisters or partners in the group, and it's really quite lovely. So, yeah, we love that group. Barbara, the course, you go to lisashield.com and you watch my free presentation, and then you want to go watch the free presentation, and then at the end it allows you to sign up for a breakthrough call, either with me or one of my team members, and we'll talk to you about the course. This course is 12 weeks long, and it's a game changer. If you're really it's inspiring to be it's almost like stepping into an alternate universe, to be struggling and stuck and miserable and feeling, the shame. I know something I felt when I was single. My God, it was the worst thing of all. I don't know about any of you, but when I was single and I watched other women just, it seems so easy for them to go out and meet guys or get picked up or flirt or whatever. And it was so much harder for me. And I just felt alone, and I felt a lot of shame. I felt like there was something wrong with me because I couldn't connect with men. They weren't picking me. And I felt awful, and I would have given anything to have been in a group like this with other women who are successful and proactive and going through the same thing I was going through. These women are beautiful. They're, thanks, Lisa. Hey, Simone, would you believe that Benjamin got COVID? He did. I was going to call you. I wanted to talk to you and see how you're doing. But yeah, I think he's had it for 10 days now, something like that. So we're almost out of the quarantine period. It's just life-changing to actually have a step-by-step plan to get out of this, there weren't love coaches. There were not people doing this when I found my partner. So when I met Benjamin, thank you, Agua. That's really sweet. So is it Lou or Agua? Lou, is that you that I talked to on the phone? Anyway, what I would say to you is that, I would have given anything to have had a group like this. Debra, I'll talk to you about the course, on a phone call, because a price doesn't matter if you don't know what you're investing in and if you don't know what I can do for you. It's just a number. So yeah, thanks, Simone. So, yeah, Lisa says, I struggle with flirting on mine. It's way out of out of my comfort zone. Yeah, Lisa, it's a challenge, but if you don't learn how to flirt with men or be playful and engage them, men want playful women. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for women who are fun and playful and full of life, and especially great men, the kind that most of us are looking for. They really want men that are women that know how to bring it. And you are so cute and sexy. I can't even imagine that you have trouble flirting with men online. Yeah, thanks, Agua. I'll check it out. I'll take a look at it. But my husband is working with his physician, and he's taking a whole vitamin regimen, and so I'll let him know about it. But I really appreciate it. But yeah, anybody have any questions for me? Any questions about being successful at dating, online dating, what it takes to find love in the middle of COVID? Anybody have questions? Anybody have a new strategy that you're Lou. Hi, Lou. It's good to see you. I didn't know it was you. It's great to see you. So does anybody have questions? Who has questions about, yes, we're taking D and vitamin C and all of those things. We're taking quercetin and I don't know what, but all kinds of stuff. What about long distance relating? Well, it's tough. First of all, if you can meet somebody closer to you, it's better. If you happen to meet somebody that you really click with and, they live farther away and you don't have a lot of people in the vicinity, if you're in a small town or something, you can make it work, but it's a challenge. It takes two highly committed people and, you really both have to be very committed to dating and to showing up, to following through. So yeah, it's not easy, but I know people who have dated long distance and they made it work and now they're married and for years they've been together. One of the big there's many challenges with long distance dating, but a big challenge is that when you date long distance and, you're in one place and they're in another place, what usually happens is this: when you move to the same city, if they're already established in that city, and you don't know their friends and you're not, acclimated, it can be very, very difficult because the person that lives there is going to feel very responsible for the one that moves there. So yeah, that can be really difficult. What are your thoughts when a man asks you to go to his house on a first date? LA is in lockdown and nowhere's open. I've had this happen a few times and I've said no. Ellie, you can still go for a walk. You can still go out to the beach, for a walk. You can grab a coffee, you can wear your masks and whatever, but I wouldn't go to somebody's house on a first date. You can do a Zoom call or whatever, or have happy hour over the internet, or over Zoom, but I wouldn't go to their house. How long should a profile be? My husband writes them very long and the men read the whole thing, Martha. He may have 4 or 5 paragraphs. If it's really good, the men will read it. They'll read every word. Susan says, is it okay to be specific about what you want in a man? For example, no, not if that's what you really want, Susan. You may find highly educated professional men are snobby themselves. There may be a man who isn't highly educated, but who's professional. You're going to limit your search like that, but no, you can put that out there. If those things are really important to you, you've got to have, some things that are going to distinguish who's for you. Vanetta says, I'm trying to get true with guys, but all of them keep texting and asking about money. Oh, yeah, Vanetta, you don't ever want to loan anybody money or let them borrow money that you meet online. And Ellie, you can go to a park, but there are places you can go, or you can sit outside if it's daytime and you go to someone's house, you can just sit outside, but I wouldn't go into their house, especially at night on a first date. Could you give some examples of how to flirt without a red flag? Exactly. Could you give some examples of how to flirt without being too sexual? Well, it's not too sexual to say, what's a girl got to do to get a date with, a guy like you? There's some sexual innuendo there, but it's not, over the top. Or what's a handsome guy like you doing, on a dating site like this? fancy meeting you here. You know, those things are not too sexual, but there's a little bit of, you know, if there's a wink or whatever, but you don't have to be over the top, Judi. And the bottom line is, you know, flirtation can also be about getting a guy to chase you. So it can be about a challenge, right? It could be about a challenge. Like, I bet if you asked for my number, I'd give it to you. You're challenging him to ask for your number. So those are ways that you can flirt. Doesn't have to be anything too much. You know, you can say, you know, but you can challenge men. That's what they love. That's what it's all about, is the self-confidence to, you know, there's something very sexy about a woman who has the self-confidence, you know, to put it out there and then pull it away. If a guy takes it sexually, hi, Catherine, good to see you. Happy New Year. Look who's here. So any questions? Come on, ladies, ask me questions. Ask me questions. I can't do all the inspiration. It's been a long day. It's been a very long day. Ask me some questions. I'll tell you no lies. What do you all want to know? What would you like to know? Oh my God, my assistant is so funny. What do you guys want to know? That was a great question, Judi. You need my flowers. I'll tell you where to get it, Simone. If I see another one, I'll send it to you. It would be beautiful on you. I use those same lines. And Vickie, I've never heard a guy say that before. If a guy thinks that's too much, oh my God. If a guy said that, if a guy said you might be a little too much for me, I'd say that you might be a little too little for me. I mean, if a guy can't joke around and be playful, you know, you have to make a decision if that's your guy. I have never heard a guy say that. Never. Most guys light up when they hear that stuff. They light up when they hear women say those things. So I want to hear from you, from all of you. What is your dating plan for 2021 in the middle of COVID? What are some of your strategies for how you're going to find your guy? Teresa says, why do men pull away then try to keep you in a relationship? Because they're afraid of intimacy. They're scared of intimacy. So they pull away to create distance so that you don't get too close, but they want to be in a relationship. They just don't want commitment. So they have issues. What does non-vanilla mean in a man's profile? Lisa, you know what that means. He's not vanilla. Like he's probably open, like even probably sexually open. I'd love to hear about the 90 plus men you dated or met before you met Benjamin. How did you pick them? Were any of them interesting, and why not? So I went on 96 first dates before I met Benjamin. Almost all of them were online dates. I was purposely dating a lot because I felt like I didn't understand men and I had a lot of blocks and I wanted to get unblocked. I didn't know how to relate to men. I was very uncomfortable with a man being sexually attracted to me, especially if it was a guy I really liked. I would get anxious. I couldn't hold my own. And so I went on all of these dates. It was almost like, you know, just to get used to being around men and having men interested in me. And what I saw was there were a lot of men who were interested in me. I wasn't interested in them. But I also really found a lot of self-confidence. I learned how to talk to men. I learned how to ask for what I wanted. I learned how to flirt with them, how to have fun, how to get comfortable with male energy. I picked them, I reached out to some of them and they reached out to me, Andrea, and, they were, most of them were interesting. They all had cool careers and, they were interesting enough for me to want to go on a date with them, but not to want to go on a second date. Most of them I just didn't think were, I had been doing a lot of personal growth work, and I just didn't feel that a lot of these men were evolved enough. They just didn't have enough. They just didn't have enough going on for me. So, but it gave me a chance to really just get used, really get comfortable with men. I think so many of you are just thinking, okay, the right guy's going to come along and it's going to be amazing and we're going to meet and it's just going to, like a Disney movie. And, I guess that happens for some people, but, it's not necessarily the way it really works. What works is two people sitting across from each other and, really being able to get emotionally naked and start with building, a beautiful friendship and then going from there, all the way up to a lifelong love. But it's uncomfortable and it can be hard and awkward, but it's really finding someone who's going to be in it for the long haul with you and, where there's real love. So, yeah, I knew when I met Benjamin, I didn't know in that moment that, hey, this is my guy. We're going to spend the rest of our lives together. But, I knew that I'd never met anyone like him in my life. And I knew he was unique. I could feel his energy just, on the first date. So, it was phenomenal. But I was willing, a lot of you just don't want to do the work. Like you want to just meet him and you think it's just going to happen and you're going on date after date. I was working on myself with each date. I was really practicing growing and working on me. So my dates got better and better, but I just didn't like, they weren't my guy and I knew it. So Debra says, what are some questions to ask a man to really know them? There are some, it's a tough thing, it's a tough question. The New York Times did like the 37 questions that, make two people fall in love. It's a great thing to do with somebody. You don't want to do it with someone you don't know that well, but it is a good thing to do, especially during COVID. And if you're doing Zoom calls or FaceTime calls, it's a good one. But you can find some really great questions like, if you could move anywhere in the world, where would you want to move to? If you didn't have to worry about getting paid for your job, what job would you do if you had to do it, if you would do it for free, and you didn't have to worry about money. What's the most important lesson you learned from your last relationship? What does your life look like in 3 to 5 years from now? So these are all really good questions that you can ask on a date, that are great questions. They're not too personal, but they would bring up some really great conversation. Tracy says, I would like to get out of my comfort zone of feeling I'm not good enough for online dating or look good enough. Yeah, Tracy, you got to work on your self-esteem. You got to work on self-love and self-esteem. If you don't love yourself, it will be very difficult to accept that somebody else loves you. So that's where women come to work with coaches like me, so you can go to my website, you can watch my video, and, if you really want to change that, maybe you'll, start doing some work on yourself so that you can learn how to love yourself. Catherine says, I've been having a lot of the same issues with dating sites. Guys will say, I don't know how to date. They will say they have been out of the dating scene for a while. These men don't communicate very well, so I won't keep talking to them. Like they don't know how to keep a conversation going. Is this normal? No, I don't know what that's about, Catherine, but I'm surprised that you keep meeting men like that. I don't know what that is, but I've never heard someone say that. And, they just might be really shy guys. They may be good guys, but they may not be great at, there are really good people. We all think women, a lot of times we have this fantasy that we just want this hot guy who has it all together, who totally understands women and is just going to sweep us off our feet. And the truth is we're all just people, it's like two people are going to sit down across from each other and they're going to try to create they're going to try to create the possibility of a lifelong love, but it's just two imperfect people, it's not some Disney movie or Prince Charming or whatever, these are real people and they may be really good people. They just may be awkward, So I don't know. Sometimes you just have to, if there's somebody that seems kind or nice or attractive, you just got to stick with it and get through it. Shanice says, I get anxious and very shy if I know a man that I'm attracted to is attracted to me. So that's an anxious attachment style, Shanice. And there's work that you can do to start to heal that. Part of that comes from not feeling that you're good enough. Part of it comes from knowing that a man who's attracted to you, wondering, what does he want from me? Does he want sex? Is he really interested in me? Does he just want to get me into bed? And part of that comes from a lack of knowledge of what to do. So we go on dates and we don't know what we're doing. We don't understand men. We don't really understand what they want or need from us. And so we're just winging it, hoping that it works. It's like going to Vegas and betting a bunch of money on, on poker or blackjack or whatever. And you don't know really how to play blackjack. You're going to lose your shirt. You're going to lose every penny. There are people who know when to bet, when to wager a bet, when not to, when to double down. But it's like taking all your money and just throwing it away, because you don't know what you're doing. So a lot of this is we need to educate ourselves and understand men. We have to know what they want and need from us in a relationship, what they're looking for, because it's not all just sex. Men want connection. Men want validation. Men want women who are interested and excited by them. A lot of you are going on dates and you get shy and you don't know what to say or do. And so, yes, you do lose their attention because you're not offering them anything. It's not enough just to be a pretty face. And especially these days with the internet and all the ability to just, date one person after another, guys can just keep going. We all can just go from one to the other to the other. So, what I realized was if I was going to ever have the kind of relationship I really wanted, I had to learn how to be different from other women. It was not just pretty, not just successful. I needed to be a woman who understood men, who really understood them in the way they wanted to be understood by a woman. There's nothing sexier. Nothing sexier. I don't know if my friend Simone is still on this call, but she is one of the most sexy, appealing women to men that I've ever known. Men love her. And she's not fake. She doesn't put on a show. She loves men. She loves them, loves their company. She knows how to talk to them. She knows how to flirt with them. And they love her. They love her and they respect her because she's not cheap. She's sexy. She's hot as can be. But they know that that woman, she's a class act. And when they see her, they treat her with respect. So, you know, you got to learn how to carry yourself with men. If you're showing up like a little girl, they're going to see you as a little girl. If you're shy and anxious, that's what they're going to see. But if you're showing up as a grown-up woman who's got her act together, who knows her worth and her value, that's what they're going to see. And they're going to treat you accordingly. Barbara says, I so agree. Where to find evolved men who have worked on their stuff and are ready? Online. I met my husband online. I met him on the internet, just like everybody else is. Oh boy, we have lots here. I'm going to have to go. I'm a widow after 30 years of marriage. I find this process is great practice. Maybe I'll find another, maybe not. But I feel good that I'm putting myself out for the opportunity. Patty, I'm sorry for the loss of your husband after 30 years. And many times, you know, not always, but many times women who really had great marriages and really were in very loving partnerships can go out and they meet somebody because they don't have the blocks, you know, and the things like women that are chronically single and have never been in a truly loving, healthy relationship. We struggle, you know, we got to learn how to get out of our own way. Andrea says, thanks. So we shouldn't be perhaps too selective in the beginning. Yeah, you got to give more people a chance and then narrow it down, you know. Vickie says, where did you grow up? Hobbies, etc. I mean, that's a kind of a run-of-the-mill question, like where did you grow up? And hobbies. You know, some of the questions I mentioned earlier are a little more provocative, a little more intelligent. You know, there's a lot of questions. What do you love about your mother? Are you working in your dream job? You know, what else? Let's see here. Yeah, so stuff like that. But ask some intelligent questions, you know. What makes you happy? I mean, those are all good questions. Let's see here. Lou says, thanks so much for the idea of practicing. How do you do the emotional naked stay in your heart when they miss something and then they apologize? Well, if they apologize, if you point out that there was a mistake, Lou, or whatever, and they apologize, you know, then you give them another chance, but you don't want to keep giving them, you know, too many chances. Simone says, you know, the right guy will have effortless conversation with you. Otherwise, just move on. Any other ways to work on self-esteem besides a coach? There's lots of books, Martha. There's tons of books, you know, but you want a workbook or something that's going to have you do exercises and things to work on your self-esteem. Men ask a lot what I'm looking for on here, even though it's clearly stated in my profile. Well, don't get so picky. I mean, the guys, you know, they read your profile, but they read your profile, but they may not remember everything, and they're just trying to make conversation and get to know you, you know. So, yeah, went on a date recently. We had a date at a public parking lot and tailgated on the back of his truck with blankets and a laptop to watch a movie together. We talked for 30 minutes. First, he was obviously masturbating under the blanket because of the way the blankets were moving. And he out of nowhere was like, my ex wasn't sexy. So I asked him why he was with her for 3 years. And then he said they had really good chemistry. I told him, oh, well, I don't plan on, whoa. Wow. He's just a creep. Yeah, he's a creep. That's crazy. All right, you got ladies, I'm going to have to ask. My throat is a little hoarse, so yes, men are insecure as well, and we have to realize how powerful we are, and that's the truth. Women have tremendous power. Tremendous power. I mean, women have tremendous power over men, and we don't even know it. I love you too, Simone. We don't even know it. We don't. So, we need to claim our power, because that's when we're our most beautiful. It has nothing to do with how we look. It has to do with how we feel about ourselves. That's the truth. So I don't have time to answer all the questions. But I send you, Simone found love again. So to the woman who is dating, she found love again, and she's with a wonderful man who treats her beautifully. All right, everybody, I'm going to go just because it's 7 o'clock here and I've been talking all day long. So please come back. Please, please come back. I would love to see all of you again. Tell your friends and, give me hearts and thumbs up and likes and whatever, because I like to see that. So please don't be shy with your likes and your hearts, and come back and see me again. Okay. I do these every Tuesday night. I do them at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and I send you my love. I appreciate every one of you who keeps coming back over and over and over again. It means so much to me. And Unirod, please check out my webinar, my presentation. Debra, Tracy, anybody who's new, who hasn't seen it, it's really great. And even if you don't get on a call with me, you'll learn a lot from it. Okay. It's lovely meeting you all, to all the new people, and my love to everybody who came back. Happy, happy New Year. And please stay safe. Bye, everybody.